Okay, today I'm going to demo the changes with our latest Oracle quarterly release 26B. These changes are specific to the Redwood self-service procurement module. And again, these are changes that are the result of the mandatory quarterly release that we have for Oracle. These changes are not optional. The first change I'm going over is in the My Requisitions tab. And this particular change is for when you're searching for specific requisitions using filters. The change that took place in Redwood self-service procurement is that now you can select multiple options instead of one at a time. So in this example, I'm just going to select three separate purchasing categories to search by. And you can see that the My Requisitions tab will filter out any other requisitions that do not meet those criteria. In this case, I selected three separate purchasing categories, and so now the system returned results based on those multiple selections. And that applies to the different filters that are available on this page. For instance, if you wanted to search for multiple suppliers at a time, you would just click right here into this field, and you can select those multiple suppliers so that you can search for all of those requisitions. Okay, that is the first change. I'm going to go over the second change, which would be when you're actually building your requisition. I'm going to go ahead and go back to the self-service procurement page here. And I am going to scroll down to request forms. And I'm going to select a separate request form. This one here is for purchases less than 10K. You can see there are some minor visualization changes. The border that was on the edges is now gone. The page is more expanded. And this is just so that the page is user-friendly when you're viewing it from a mobile device. Instead of kind of squishing the pages together, it's spread it out a little bit more evenly across the screen. That's one visualization change. Another change is we had this button here that said suggest category, and that was based on the item description that you enter in this field. If you click that button, it will return what purchasing category it thinks that this purchase is for. The change is that the button looks a little different. It's more an AI-friendly icon. If you click that, it works the same, but the visual of it looks a little different. These fields are all the same. They're just spread across the screen a little bit more now. Nothing on this page should have changed other than just the borders and this description here for the suggest category button. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cancel that and get out of that screen. And the next changes here are going to be in your shopping cart. This is when you're building your requisition after you have added things to your shopping cart. Some changes here are that now you can enter a description directly on the screen, whereas before you would have to click on this edit button to go to the page to edit the description and the justification field. This change allows you to just enter a description here. I will enter value here. So you can do that in both fields now. Okay, after that, you would still need to go to this edit requisition screen to update any other details. So for instance, if you need to select yes for eligible for reduced tax, assign an owning department to the requisition, you still have to take those steps, but you can easily edit descriptions and justification on the prior screen if you need to. So I'm going to go ahead and update those values there. No other changes to this page other than the changes that I mentioned before. So this page should remain exactly the same as it was before 26B. I'm going to go ahead and click Update and go back to the shopping cart to go over some other changes. Okay, so now I'm going to move down to the lines section. You can see that the description values are now hyperlinked. That is different from prior to this update. If you click on that hyperlink of the description, it will show you more details about that requisition line that you're creating. So it'll show you what the status is of this requisition since we haven't submitted it yet. It's draft, and it shows you details like the purchasing category that you assigned, supplier details, delivery details, so where the item is getting shipped to, and then all of the billing details that you already have assigned to that requisition. If I go back up here, You can easily toggle back and forth between different lines that you might have in your shopping cart. If you want to go view the details for line 2, you would just click this next button and it'll take you to the details for line 2. If I click the back button, it will take me to the prior line, which is line 1. And then also there's a tab here for notes and attachments. So if you added a note as you were building the requisition, it should show that information there as well. I'm going to go ahead and click X to get out of that screen. The next change that is available in this quarterly release is that if you click the supplier name, that's hyperlinked as well, that will show you supplier details. It'll show you the supplier number, it'll show you the type of supplier this is, and their site details if you need to see what address they have for this purchasing site, and any additional information, it will be there as well. Just click the X to get out of that screen. Another change that you'll see on the lines section of this page is that if there are notes or attachments assigned to that line, you'll see this little icon here telling you that there are notes and attachments. If you click that, it will show you what those notes and attachments are. So I'm going to go ahead and click X. Okay, another change that is occurring in this new quarterly release is that you'll see that there is a column here now labeled billing. If you click on that, that will take you directly to the billing information for this requisition line. Before, you would have to click on the edit button on that line directly in order to go to the page to update any COA information per line. Now, all you have to do is click on that icon that says billing, and it'll take you directly to this screen. It also allows you to toggle easily back and forth to different lines on the requisition. So if you want to see the COA details for line 1, you would just click this back button here to go to that line 1. Or if you want to see the details for line 2, you would just click this forward button here to go to the next line. Another thing that's changed is that on this screen, you can simply click on the split button if you need to split a distribution on a line. In this example, I'll go ahead and split this line to another distribution. So I'm going to click on that split button, and you can see here, line 1 has a quantity of 2. Line 1, distribution 1 has a quantity of 2. So what I'll do is change line 2 so that it has a quantity of 1. So I'm going to hit the tab button and just click over here, and you can see that it now says that distribution 2 has an amount of $5 and is split 50%. If I come back over here to line 1, distribution 1, it will automatically refresh and change that distribution so that it's split evenly. And that is because on distribution 2, I assigned a quantity of 1, so it automatically will refresh and update based on the overall quantity of that line. You can see up here that the full line has a quantity of 2, so that's why we see a percentage split of 50-50 between each distribution. If you come down here, you can also update any project billing details if you need to. For instance, if for this distribution we actually need to assign it to a project, then you would click directly into the project field, select that project number, and then just give the page a second to fill in the rest of the details. And then if you scroll down here, you'll see all of your charge account details, but since we assigned a project to this, we don't need to worry about that section. So now that I've finished and I'm done updating the distributions for line 2, I'm going to go ahead and click Save and Close. And just give that a second, and it will accept the changes that I just made. And the page gets refreshed a little bit. So if I come down here, you can see that the billing details icon is right here. If you need to go back to look at the changes that you made, then you just have to click back into that page by clicking the icon. And again, you can see that what I did on the prior action is I split that line 50-50, so that 50% is on distribution 1 and 50% is on distribution 2, which happens to be a project. Another thing about this page is if you need to update any delivery details about this specific line, then you can easily click into this tab to update that. So that would be the receiver, or if you need to change the delivery dates or any delivery addresses for that specific line, you can do that on that page. If you click line details, that will allow you to update the description of that line or the purchasing category, the pricing details, the supplier, or add any additional notes that you need to make. Again, you can just click Save and Close to complete that action. The next change that is pretty exciting because it was a really big concern for UCR is that you can now add multiple approvers to the requisition. If you click View Approvers, it will take you to a page to assign an approver, and this will allow you to assign that approver at any stage of the requisition. So, for instance, if you need to add a PI or a project manager to the start of the stage of the requisition, you now have the ability to do that very easily. For instance, I'm going to go ahead and click on this person's name right here, and I'm going to click the button that says Add Approvers. And you can see it brings up this page on the right side of the screen that allows me to assign a new approver to either the start of the entire task of the requisition, to the very end of the requisition, or to the start of this specific stage, which is the department approver stage. You can also attach an approver at the parallel part of the stage. So I'm going to go ahead and just add a name here. And let's see who comes up. So I will add this person to the start of the overall task by clicking this Add button. Okay, and you can see that that approver has been added to the start of the entire task. So after I submit this requisition, it will route to this person. When they approve it, it will route to the next group of approvers, which would be the department approvers. Once they approve the requisition, it will route to the next stage, which would be, in this scenario, the reduced tax approvers. That's pretty much it for 26B. I just want to mention that this new quarterly release will be in our Oracle production instance on Saturday, May 16th. So when you sign in on Monday, the changes will be there automatically. Another thing to mention is that the classic version of the self-service procurement module is going to be deactivated on the same day, so on May 16th. So going forward, users will only be able to use the Redwood self-service procurement module for requisitions. Thank you, everyone.